Open fields filled with fruits, joy and laughter. The sun glistens through my palms. We seek therapy through nature.
On August 30th, 2021, the driver of ZR85 became ill while traveling on Route 11.
Please note that we are operating the alphabetical system here.
Julie, that's the $5.
Everything was closed. And then we saw that food was one of the most priority.
We learned that the country was going to be locked down, supermarkets were going to be closed for a specific amount of time.
You know, a lot of people have been trying to plant the kitchen gardens.
We were living in fear practically that you go to the supermarket, there'll be nothing there. We didn't know how long we were going to be in lockdown for, or if food was going to come in, or you didn't know what was happening. So the uncertainty alone was enough stress to let you know, well, you should have your own food available.
I started on the 25th of February. That's when we officially get the property and everything.
It was time to do much more planting and engaging in production of food.
Now there is pandemonium at Price Mart. What has happened is that there are people who were here from 6. When I got here, I was number 11 in line, and as you can see, look what has happened.
Persons were lining up in the supermarket, and if there was nothing that's going on, it was the supermarket. And then there were the vendors on the side, and then you know, even if you didn't know before, you knew then that food was vital for survival. I am Maria Joseph. I am an entrepreneur by nature. I have specialized more recently in the food industry.
So when I go and I cook now, you know where shopping?
You back there?
By me, so the only thing I ain't able to grow is tuna.
We import maybe 95% of everything that we eat and consume. So I think it's natural then that if there's any economic shocks, any macro shocks in terms of North America, Canada, Asia, where we normally get most of our products from, then we in Barbados, we're going to, for lack of a better word, suffer. So I think the idea of having a kitchen garden, the idea of gardening was always something that was in my thought process, but the opportunity, I think, definitely arose here while I was in Husbands, where there actually was a plan to actually create a garden.
We had a community park designated to us that basically, you know, it had a few swings, 1 or 2 benches. It was more of a recreational park, but it was a good sized plot of land. It could have been about 1/4 of an acre that was assigned to our community. And I was chatting with one of the neighbors today, And I was telling her, this could be some good exercise. What about us having something like a community garden, where neighbors can come out and you can do it safely? First started were, as I said, I was chatting to one.
It is important that we find activities where we can share and discuss and plan.
And then we further chatted with about 2 or 3 other neighbors, and they said, yeah, this is a good idea.
In terms of the garden, in terms of the composition, the team that we have Maria, we have her husband Albert, we have her daughter Aaliyah. There's Lisa, who is always around, and there's Marveline, and I think her name is Sheila. She also plays a significant part, and one of the key persons in terms of just sharing that knowledge with us.
I just happened to see it in the chat one Sunday, and I thought I'd join.
Right now, the community is about, let's say, about between 10 to 12 persons actively. Persons are actually physically working in the garden, could be around 8 persons, predominantly women. We have I think it's about 1 or 2 males, but predominantly they're mostly women.
My name is Christopher Harris. I'm a financial analyst advisor at Deloitte, Caribbean and Bermuda. During I would call it my morning and my evening walks, I was able to meet a lady who introduced me to gardening, and I think that is where it really started. She said basically she needed some help. She saw me walking on mornings, and she just asked me if I'd be willing to give a hand, and I guess I said yes.
The lockdown opened my eyes to just how badly we needed to have a resource for food. I'm Lisa Fields. I'm a visual artist and potter, and recently I got involved with the community garden project with my husband's. They're called Neighbors in Boots, and our aim is to engage the community so that we could be more sustainable with food, learning about growing vegetables, and basically feeding ourselves.
It was definitely a significant outflow of cash flows in terms of buying items that I think could last me over 2 to 3 weeks, because that was based on the lockdown of the country. And then we had this whole alphabet system in Barbados.
This is Uncle from Best Rooms. Please note well that we are operating the alphabetical system here. That is, the day that you assign to come on the road is the day that we here at Best Rooms will welcome you.
Where you could only go to the supermarket at specific times. So that was, again, something that was significantly different. What I would say was specifically different, though, was the amount of time that I spent maybe purchasing edibles, yams, sweet potatoes from other persons' vehicles just randomly on the streets, because at specific times we couldn't go to the supermarket, or the supermarket lines were just too long. So I would say definitely it had that impact.
Most of us that are in this project, we are learning as we go along. Most of us.
My father is a farmer, my grandfather was a farmer, and we come from a farming community in Redlands Village. But me personally, I was a resistant gardener. I just liked how plants look, but I had a mostly black thumb.
Definitely we have to thank Minister Sandra's husband. She was very instrumental in helping us to get the garden plow, encouraging us and stuff like that. We have like one other 2 neighbors that they came and they brought water with us. And they also to help take all the big boulders out the garden. When we first started, at one point I thought I had gone to the gym.
Connecting to your roots. That's what we need to do here in Barbados, to go back to the things which work for us. And one of the things our government has been committed to is to be able to green Barbados, to connect neighborhoods with the old-time fruit trees, for example, that were a part of our childhood. Every child should have a guava tree, a cherry tree, a golden apple tree in easy reach. But urbanization and the growth of our suburbs have deprived some children of that experience that was so natural for us. So I'm so pleased that today we had my neighborhood, Husband's Heights, they got together and decided what trees they wanted. And so we were able to procure them from the NCC. And so neighbors were able to come out and get the trees they wanted to be able to plant in their backyards. But they want to go further because they really are a very exemplary neighborhood group. They want to be able to start their own community kitchen garden, and they want to restore their park so that it is a living space that accommodates everyone.
It was kind of quite new to them, so they needed a bit more information, a bit more research being done. But all in all, I would say it was pretty encouraging in terms of they thought it was a good initiative in terms of food security.
Due to the coronavirus, I know a lot of people have been trying to plant the kitchen gardens, but funny enough, I started up mine during the same time. Hi, I'm Kareem and welcome to my garden. I have a few tomatoes, peppers, eggplants, parsley, basil, and so on.
Reaping is the most enjoyable process, especially when you plant some small seedlings and then you can reap the products like what we have here, like the okras. Those came from the garden, and the bok choy.
Maria invited me to come along, go harvest some potatoes, and I haven't done that since I was little. And back then, it was just like a fun thing. You're going to run up and down between the fields, and you get holler at and stuff like that, but you don't actually do any work. This time it was a learning experience. I actually think I could possibly go and harvest some potatoes. It might take a while, but I think I would get there. I think we could actually go and dig some potatoes if we had to.
So you think potatoes should be included in the community garden?
We have potatoes in the community garden already. But yeah, definitely. The lockdown opened our eyes, or opened my eyes to just how badly we needed to have a resource for food.
My name is Sheila Hope Hayward. I am a vendor, part-time on Sundays only. Because of the pandemic, the sales and interest of people in homegrown foods definitely increased, because I think there was a mindset that imported foods were not the best thing to use at the time of the pandemic. More homegrown foods would have been better for our immune system at the time, and I think more people went along that route.
Everything we grow, we eat.
Yeah, my office. At first, I only had 10,000 square foot, right?
My main role is to help supply the garden with seedlings, because I tend to buy seedlings for myself every 2 to 3 weeks.
Morning, Aaliyah. I'm going up St. George to get some seedlings. You want to come?
That's the only ginger we get?
Bajan made by Bajan raised. Soil so rich you could taste. Taste where it came from, where he came. In tune with the whispers of plants he nurtured, the old Bajan gardener.
We slow down. After COVID, we rise back up and then, but things are going pretty up now. When you plant these, when you plant them, you can put them as deep as this.
Okay. Okay.
When you plant your carrots, a little bit of kerosene with the carrot seed prevent the ants from carry it away.
Okay.
All you need to do, you just come and you do like that, And you keep rolling your fingers, and you keep rolling the fingers right down.
The issue mainly is just, well, it was the heat. You know, how the drought and the sun was blazing for a while. So a lot of the things that I had initially actually kind of died. Some survived, but I grew some fresh from seed.
Our biggest challenge today, other than having a good selection of funds, is the water.
From the inception, I remember just one or two neighbors, we actually would fill up bottles of water, load them into the van or whatever the case may be, and actually drive to the garden in order to go up and down the beds. But what I can say though is that most persons do bring water bottles, fill up water bottles within their own homes and bring to the garden. But I think that's the biggest challenge. In order for this garden to be successful, we need access to water. And I think and I hope that government will definitely support us in this initiative.
During the pandemic, the market, Cheapside Market, was relocated to Spring Garden, which in my view is not the best site. Lots of vendors were displaced. I being one of them, though I went to Spring Garden on 2 occasions, but the setup wasn't suitable for what I was selling.
So we try to plant produce that would be able to reap within a 6-week or a 3-month. We have things like the cassava, which is like 9 months.
So I think the first crop was lettuce and cucumbers. To see it go from literally just a seedling into something that I can actually consume, and to see the growth over the 3 to 6 weeks was special. So it was great that I had the opportunity to have lettuce and cucumbers just a stone throw away from where I live.
Most rewarding crop for gardening was a few years ago. I had an actual patch of strawberries along here, and that was just like quite amazing because I actually picked strawberries and was able to sell them.
First crop I cut down is corn, pumpkin, okras.
We reap okras every 2 days, and we have been reaping okras for the last, I think it's about the last 6 weeks.
They didn't require that much work, and they were producing fruit from a very small, young-looking plant. So it was really exciting.
Where do you see the community garden going?
We can get like a market there that persons can come out and purchase some of the same products that we are producing.
The people that's in the group seems to be quite interested in planting and reaping and seeing things grow. So once we keep up that momentum, it should go far.
But the community garden actually allowed me to interact with some of my neighbors, and I think that was good. I got to learn so much about them. I found out that we do have some shared interests, and then they like to lime and socialize and drink and talk, and that is great. It's not just about the hard work, obviously, of going up and down watering different plants, but it's also the ability just to communicate and to have those connections. I think is also important.
What does therapeutic soil mean to you?
Therapeutic soil means something that I can relieve stress.
Well, it's serves as some type of antidepressant.
Gardening is a way of easing stress. It's therapeutic. I tend to come out and ease my mind.
It means that you get a cathartic release from dealing with the soil.
To do organic produce, to do gardening in general is very therapeutic.
Therapy in the soil he touched, from which beauty grew, speaking life into what he grew, for he is Bajan made, like the life he creates.
How do you find working with your daughter on this project?
Working with her can be sometimes challenging because she wants to do her own thing and I want to do my own thing, but for the most part of it, we have a common goal. We both love plants, we both love the gardening section, and we both see the benefits of being out there working.
living in the moment. And here we are, dreaming in the open. Now look around, isn't this a new day? Make a move, doing things a new way. A new way. 'Cause this is our world, and this is our time. These are our plans, we're gonna let them shine. This is our place in the human race, and we won't stop dreaming. No, we won't stop dreaming. Look ahead, we can see forever. You and me doing it together. Light it up, we can be a million stars. Look at us, don't you see we've come so far? Yeah, we've come so far. 'Cause this is our world, and this is our time. And these are our plans, we're gonna let them shine. This is our place in the human